No, not hear the music. Production preview. That medicine is so nasty. It's essential. How you living? Go and do your research. I don't hear nothing.
How do we win if I'm always winning?
Right,
I know
right.
all I do is win.
No
Win.
matter what.
No matter what.
It's essential.
I win when we
We
win.
win. Go ahead, Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah, right from the beginning, she had a vision. It was a daily elevation for essential living. That's that good intention. All you gotta do is listen. Creating magic during uncertainties be the mission. Dr. Sabrina Jackson, serving God must be a passion. Cause being a better person begins with daily practice. Love is the attitude, that's what we gotta do. Mental Health Mondays on Fox News in Detroit, that's Channel 2. Look us up, baby. Gon' do your research from Cass Tech to Eastern. Yeah, we've been in it for a minute. We've been winning for a minute. It's essential. How you living? For God. It's essential. How you living? In your mind. It's essential. How you living? For freedom. It's essential. How you living? With Sabrina. It's essential. 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 It's essential.
And welcome, welcome. Welcome to another riveting edition of Speaking Life with Dr. Sabrina. I am your host, Dr. Sabrina, the people expert, as I help people with people, even if that person is themselves. Because I say it here all the time. We think it's somebody else with the problem, and it's really us standing in the need of some care. And so I don't know if you've noticed, but I am not in the studio today. I am actually broadcasting from home because I have been diagnosed with COVID. And I don't look like what I've been through. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I have to stay in. I'm taking the 5-day treatment, so I'll be just at home doing a little work from home, but mostly resting and getting my body together. So, but let me say this, there's so much going on. So much going on in the world. There's so much going on for this holiday season. So Chantel is going to start throwing stuff up and I'm going to start talking about it. So the first is the Thrive Summit. The Thrive Summit is a global summit that is all virtual, and we have a list of tremendous speakers that will talk about moving from just being a survivor to a thriver. And so I will be speaking. I am one of the speakers for this summit. You can look on the flyer. I am so excited to be a part of this because it's such a diverse list of speakers. So not only am I speaking, but I will be able to learn from other speakers as well. So that is the first event that's coming up. And I think I'm speaking on November the 15th for that. And then the next is this coming Saturday, November the 16th from 2 to 4. We're having an event called Inspire and Indulge with Dr. Sabrina. And so it is actually an opportunity to get some inspiration, but to also get some shopping done. So we will be at Accessories by Stephanie. Several things that I wear, several I get from Stephanie. She is a business owner who's been in the hospital in a boutique for over 20 years. Oh my
Wow.
God, over 20 years. And she makes jewelry herself. She has some of the greatest fashion that is there. And what I love about it is that it's really unique, so you're not going to see yourself coming or going. And so I want you to join us there, right there at Henry Ford Hospital in West Bloomfield, right in the lobby area. There is a boutique entitled Accessories by Stephanie. And then we're going to have stuff for you to drink and little snacks for you to eat. I'll have books on hand. So I want to see you come on out and hang out with me. Then the following week, drum roll, please. Oh my God. It's starting, it's starting, it's starting. Yours truly is launching her own fragrance. The fragrance is simply called Breezy. And you know, I call my followers my breezies because we cool like that. And so now you'll be able to get the oil and the lotion. So we'll have lotion and scented oil that has the breezy fragrance. And then also on that day, we're going to have a book signing for my journal, Dr. Sabrina's Daily Elevations, 30-day journal to self-awareness. I always say awareness is cool, but self-awareness is critical. So I'll have books on hand. We'll have a food truck. There'll be some other vendors there, but we're going to be over at the Pink Diamond Beauty Mall, which is on Livernois between 6 and 7 Mile. It's a big pink building. You can't miss it, but it's a spa there. They do nails there. And we're going to launch the fragrance line there. And they will be carrying it in their beauty store there after that date. So let me see you on November 23rd. What else going on? Oh, just a little flyer to let you know that your girl is a speaker and a trainer. And so if you're looking for a speaker for your holiday party or a host, any of those type of things, feel free to reach out to your girl. I do have some dates available, and you can move into next year if you have keynoting and speaking opportunities. Your girl is ready. And then, oh my goodness, this is a global event, and I'm one of the speakers for this as well, but it is called whew, She is Victorious. And this is a part of the United Nations. I am a peace ambassador for the United Nations. A lot of people don't know that because I don't talk about it all that much, but I am. And so I am Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Sabrina Jackson. And so in this stage, I will be talking on that stage. And so I'm excited about it because we're really talking about gender violence and getting over that, because there's so much gender violence that goes on around the globe. And so we'll have speakers from around the globe. So tune in, and it's all virtual. You'll be able to tune in as well. So I think that is it. But I'm going to do something a little different today because, you know, I know incredible people. I just know incredible people. And today is no difference. But I'm going to have the gentleman, Mr. Gill. I'm going to have Gill come on, and I'm going to have Gill introduce his beautiful wife, because we're going to be talking about couple stuff today. Bring them on. Bring them on. Bring them on. Bring them on. Hey, Gill.
Hey, Miss Sabrina, how are you?
I am absolutely amazing. And so I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk about that fine thing you got sitting next to you today.
Boy, you know what? You just threw a curveball because you didn't even give me no warm up. No, I didn't even get to the start loosening up the arm or nothing like that. But you know what? It's really, really easy because this is a person that when you meet someone at a young age, you never know how far that they are going to go and also have an impact in your life. And when this person took some initiative and decided that we were going to get to know each other, it started with a pencil. She pushed it off her desk and to lure me to come and pick it up. And
All
I
right.
picked up the pencil and she said, I didn't think you were going to say hi to me. And I was like, well, I always say hi to lovely young ladies. Why would I not? And so ever since then, that was at 14 and 15 years old. you know,
Wow.
and ever since then, I've been just trying to keep up, because this is somebody I always say now, after 36 years of marriage, this coming December, I have to take her batteries out because if not, ain't no telling where she would be and what she would be doing. We've done everything from entrepreneurship with hair salons. She's a master stylist, did that for 28 years. And then she decided, I'm a pivot. I'm going to start plant-based nutrition and weight management. She did that. Then she decided she wanted to have a hairline product, did that. Then she decided I'm gonna be a writer. So you can see what I mean about keeping up. So I'm like just trying to barely tread water here. So I'm just going along for the ride and been enjoying it, like I said, for 36 years. And this is my life partner, a soulmate, and someone that has driven me to become a better man. And this is my
Wow.
wife, Renee M. Beavers extraordinaire. She didn't know I was gonna say that part. How is
I
that?
love
I,
it.
did I do good on
I
that one?
I think you did an amazing job. And I think that so often I hear so many women that have negative things to say about men.
Mm,
They say, we hear the old adage, all men are dogs, all
Yes.
men cheat, but I understand that your words have power.
Oh
And so
yeah.
if you say all men are dogs, guess what you're going to draw? A dog.
yeah,
And
Yes.
if you say all men cheat, you're going to draw a cheater.
Cheater.
So
Yes.
you have to think differently.
You
So
do.
I love the fact, and this is the reason that I did this, Gil, is because I wanted women who are listening and who will listen to the replay of this to know that there are real good men still in the world. There
Oh
are
yeah.
good men that still support, love, protect, honor, elevate, inspire, love on their one wife.
absolutely, absolutely,
I love it.
absolutely. And it's funny that you say that because when we were just dating at 14 and 15, that was one vow that we made to each other. We both come from broken homes as far as marriage, so we really didn't have a great example of what a healthy marriage looked like. So when we decided that we're going to stay together, we said, you know what, divorce is not an option for us. A lot of people say that, but if you're not intentional about doing things to get better at it,
Yeah.
how are you going to stick to it and do something better? And for 36 years, actually, it's been like 38 years, they're going on 39 years that we've been just boyfriend, girlfriend, just hanging out. But 36 years we've been together as man and wife, so that is something that we decided that was something of a really, really important point that we were going to make a decision together. It
Yeah.
wasn't just me, and it wasn't just something that I said. We both decided that
Yes.
that's something that we wanted to pursue.
And I would have to say that it's so good to have someone that you share the vision and the desire and the goal with. I didn't make him, although I initiated our meeting, I didn't make him want me. He chose me, and I allowed him to choose me.
Ooh, 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 I love that. I love that you say that because one of the things that I've stopped saying that we hear in this whole relationship and couple lane is that, oh, I fell in love. I
Hmm.
don't use that terminology anymore. And I don't use it because every time that I have fallen, it hasn't been good. When I
No.
fell off my bike, it hurt. When I fell off
Yes.
my skates, it hurt.
Yes.
When I fell down some steps, it hurt. So
Yes.
I don't say that I'm looking to fall in love.
No.
I'm looking to
To grow
choose
in.
love.
Yeah.
I choose who
Yeah.
I'm going to love. And so
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
think that you two are such a great example. And I really feel, because one of the things I heard Gil say that you both come from homes that you didn't have great examples. So
Yeah.
you had to be intentional that you're not going to bring the baggage from what you've seen to create what you have together. And that's what a lot of couples do. Am I not correct? I'm
They
sure you
do.
talk to a lot of couples.
Yes. And they use their past as a template for their future, and they use it as a way, as an excuse, rather than saying that didn't work for them. So, how do I gain new insight, new
Mhm.
examples to do something different?
That is so true. It's so funny because people are texting me on my phone saying, "Why are you doing a podcast and you're supposed to be resting?" I was like, I am not gonna cancel on the Beavers today. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it. So,
Oh, we appreciate that.
oh
Yeah.
no, we were gonna get it done. And so, soon as we're done, trust me, I'll be back in my pajamas and back in bed.
Resting.
However,
Rest.
I think this is such a valid and pivotal time because one of the things that, and I want to get your take on this as a couple.
Okay.
One of the things that I hear all the time is the statistics about marriage that first marriages, 50% of those will end in divorce.
Mhm.
62% of second marriages end in divorce, and 73% of third marriages end in divorce. What you think about that?
I think it's true that each time you don't get it right, it's going to increase the chances of it happening again. But I also believe that if we're allowing the statistics to tell us that we only have a 50% chance to succeed, we're setting ourselves up for failure. We have to allow our own decisions as a couple and the word of God to be how we make the decisions for how we're going to live our life, not statistics and not society.
And I think even when couples decide that they're going to get married or they decide that I'm going to do it again, they haven't really took that self journey inward to say, you know what, why did the first time did it fail? And if you haven't took that journey inward and did some self assessment and looked at yourself and said, what could I have done better? What could I have done different? What did I fail to learn? It, as far as even when it comes to something like in learning your spouse, I've been a student of Renee
Oh,
for as long as we've been together. You ever have that time where you can have that communication, unspoken communication, whether it's by body language or just mere presence, that you know that either something is wrong or something is up, or I would say there's a disturbance in the force. Something is going on that we need to address. And that's where you have to really understand when it comes to present, past, or even your future relationships, you have to become a student of your spouse and really have a desire to want to get better at the skills that you lack. We call them growth areas.
ooh, that's so good. And let me say this, because I'm a therapist,
Hmm.
and so of course I've worked with hundreds of couples, if not thousands, over the years. Because I'm knocking on the door of 40 years
Wow.
Wow.
postgraduate school. Crazy, crazy. I can't believe I'm that old. But anyway, I remember having a client who she came to me for grief counseling because her husband was murdered.
Mm.
Mm.
And but during the grief counseling, because her husband was a drug dealer,
Mm.
she shared with me that the man she had before that was a drug dealer, and the man she had before that was a drug dealer. So, one of the things that I asked her to do after I knew she was strong enough with the whole grieving process, because what I did not want to do is to get her healed and healthy from the grief of the loss, but then didn't get her to a place that she could choose differently next time because she was pretty
Exactly.
young. And so, one of the things that activities that I had her do, I said, I want you to write down the characteristics of a drug dealer.
Mm.
And I said, I want you then to identify what things you have in common.
Mm.
And she said, when I first gave it to her, she says, I don't have anything in common with, I don't sell drugs. I've never sold drugs. I says, but there's some behaviors
Mm-hmm.
and there's some mindset
Mm-hmm.
that takes a person down that lane that you have as well.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's why you're able to draw it
Yes.
and sit in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she did it. She came back and she just cried.
Yeah.
She says, "Oh my God, I
Yeah.
cannot believe that when I took that deep dive." And so I am so happy to report she's gotten remarried
Wow.
to a minister.
Awesome.
She went back to school and took up massage, and now she's working with cancer patients doing massage. They have a new child. It's just amazing.
Transformation.
If you take the time, as you said, Gil, to do the self work, the inner work,
Mm-hmm.
like what is it about me that keeps doing the same
Mm-hmm.
thing?
Mm-hmm.
If you want something different, you got to do something different.
Absolutely.
Very much
I
so.
love this. I love this. So let me ask this question, Renee. Um, what has been one of the biggest challenges of remaining married?
I would say the biggest challenge has been not allowing people outside of our marriage to crowd out our priority, our commitment to each other. Kids, family, jobs, success, failure, traveling. We're in the military. So we've had to learn how to daily reprioritize our commitment to one another
Mhm.
and to our love and to our friendship and not allow anything else to take the place of that.
Ooh, that's so good. Okay, so now since you all are the couple and I'm the single person,
Mhm.
because I'm not booed up. I've been married. I have two husbands. They was my husband. But
Mhm.
I have definitely I have definitely done and continue to do that internal work. So
Mhm.
I can see the difference in the choices that I make. I see the difference in what I will accept and what I won't accept, those type of things.
Mhm.
But I have a question for you all.
Okay.
Looking at me and what I do, because I'm on TV, I'm on the radio, I've been in movies, because I'm a quote unquote public figure or have some celebrity. The challenge for me is either men feel like they are not worthy to come alongside. I'm gonna be too much to handle because my life is big. There's a bigness to my life. Or if they do step to me, they think the only thing they have to offer me, because they think I got it all going on,
Mhm.
is sex. Help a sister out. What should I do?
I'll let Renee go ahead.
I would say because we were interviewed, Babby Mason interviewed us, and she asked Gil the question, "How do you navigate being married to a woman like Renee? Because you guys seem so different. How do you navigate that?" And so I would say to you, I think the person that's for you is going to have to be confident in who they are. And we just talked about this the other day. Sex is not intimacy because
You better
you
say it
can
again.
sex is not intimacy. Because in order to be intimate, you have to be vulnerable and you have to communicate and you have to be able to share your fears and your dreams and your hopes. And that doesn't have to be physical, that has to be emotional. But the person has to feel confident enough in themselves to approach you so that they can realize that what they bring to you is themselves. And I think that unfortunately, sometimes people don't realize how valuable they are because we always say you're more than enough. I think that the person that is for you is going to doesn't have to be doing the same thing because Gil is not he's a background person. He hates to be in the front. It's not his thing.
Well,
And
you're
so
doing a
it's
great job, Gil. I'm just saying.
yeah, you never know it. It's not his thing. But it's just the person that's for you is going to have a sense of their own identity and confidence and see the beauty in you and to see that you have needs just like everybody else. No matter how great we are, there's still needs that you have that another person can bring value to you.
Absolutely. I will say that one of the definitions that I say for intimacy is into me,
You
I
see.
allow you to see.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So it's the ability to see beyond
Hmm.
what you see on the stage or what you see if I'm speaking or, because one
Right.
of the things that I hear from men often and it hurts my feelings a little, but they'll say, "Oh my God, you you're that lady that's on Fox too," and I go, "Yeah, that would be me. You're out of my league." Really? Just
And then
because
you
I'm on
are.
TV?
And then you are.
I know, and so that's why it makes me sad because I'm like, "Oh, okay, well here we go again." I
But at
get
least they
way
told
more
you.
of that.
At least they told you.
You
That's
know,
true.
and I think that kind of spills over into the unrealistic expectations that sometimes
Hmm.
people put not only on the person who's the personality, but even on the relationship. Just like you just said, you're beyond my capability, or you're bigger, you're too much for me, or either you're too in the public eye, or they couldn't handle it. It kind of spills over into understanding that not only do they have to be confident in themselves, but they actually have to have those realistic ideas about what is it that you're looking for in the relationship, to whether a personality, that's just what they do for a living.
Come on, you better say it, Gil.
Sometimes people confuse the two between what that person does for a living and who
And who
they
they
are
are.
as a person, because a person who is in the public eye, you'll be amazed at how many of them are more introverted and private and quiet than what you see out in the public view. They would rather have the polar opposite. So that's something that I think comes along with being that public eye, is having a realistic expectation that you may have for that person, but also that they may have for you, which kind of spills over into the communication side of things that has to be a paramount when it comes to your relationships.
That is so true. My son said something to me about 2 years ago. We went to the auto show preview. I call it the adult prom, when
Yeah.
everybody get all dutied up, and he was my plus one. So we were there for about an hour and a half, and he was walking next to me, and he looked at me and he says, "Ma, I see why you're single." And I says, "Why? What I do?" He said, "Cause this is a lot." He says, "Because everyone is wanting to take a picture with you. They want to talk to you. They don't want to know nothing about me. They want me to move out the way so they can take the picture. And they want me to take the picture. So that's all I am, is I'm working." So he says whenever he's out with me, he's doing his public service for the community because he's taking pictures. But I think that is a thing. Because one, I'm gonna always be gracious and kind to people
Mm-mm.
who walk up to me and have things they want to say to me. And I have been out with men who could not have, oh my God, can't they see you on a date? Well,
I think even it's so funny that you said that, because just the other day we were going to church.
Sunday.
We were going to church, and I was just kind of poking at Renee. I was like, because Renee always looks like she's whether camera ready and already ready to go into the public eye, and it's not because she's performing or doing
That's just
anything.
what I
It's
was
just who
raised.
she is. Before you leave the house, you just try to look your best. I don't care if it's to the grocery store. That's just who she is as a person. And I always just poke with her, and I was like, look at you, I'm just walking alongside you. People probably think I'm your security or something like that. And that kind of goes back into that person has to be comfortable in their own skin, and to know that I'm with her, but I know who she's going home with, and I know who she's been married to for 35 plus years. So I'm comfortable in our relationship, because behind closed doors, when she's just walking around in her PJs or her warm blanket, she's just a normal woman that needs the attention of her spouse or her husband to say, you know what, I'm here for you, not necessarily what you do. That's just a part of your vocation.
I love it. I have a question because I know the book is out. So tell me about the book and what to expect out of the book.
Well, the book was birthed from us working with so many married couples who wouldn't listen.
Uh
And
oh.
when we realized that there were single people who really needed a safe place. And so we felt like, why not create something to help singles navigate the dating scene, an app to kind of assess themselves, and a book to kind of know what's the dating journey supposed to be like? What is it supposed to look like? Because we have all these examples in social media. And so it's called The Singles Blueprint for Dating and Marriage. And it's really a self journey book. It's not for you to find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, but for you to find yourself and for you to know what to expect realistically along the dating, courting, journey.
And my natural vocation is in IT. That's what I do
Okay.
daily. So we have what's called a framework that you build software and things around that you have to
Mm-hmm.
stay within a boundary. Well, that's what this is kind of like. It's a framework that you can look at as a single individual and say, you know what, how am I lining up with what to expect from the relationships? We're like we talked about earlier, we're big into assessments and personal assessments.
Me
Well, if you
too.
don't have someone that you had a good example around that you grew up with that can kind of navigate and guide you, we always say we're not counselors,
We're
we're
not
not
there.
therapists, we're not licensed or anything like that. We're lay counselors through our church, but we are mentors and coaches. Just like a coach in sports, actually, you already have some skills. We're just going to show you some of the deficiencies that you have and how to use the better skills to get more success in what you're trying to do. And that's what this book is. It's like having us in your pocket to say, you know what should I look for in a significant other? Well, guess what? We got a checklist in there that you can look at and say,
Red flags.
red flags. These
And
are some
sometimes
things
the
to
red
look
flags
at.
are in you. It's really designed when people they're like, wait a minute, I do that. And so there are things that we do that are unhealthy that send the wrong signal. I always say sometimes as women, we have a do not disturb sign when men, that's why men don't approach us. I have that on all the time because I'm married. But sometimes single women have this do not disturb, get away, leave me alone. They don't seem approachable. And so it's learning how to navigate that in a way where you can turn the light on to say, hey, I'm available.
And,
My
and approachable.
my nephew says to me all the time, he says, Auntie, you're moving so fast.
Yes.
You gotta slow down so he can catch up.
Yes.
Cause I
You
do.
just said that.
I
Yeah.
do. I do move fast. I have a bunch of stuff going on and
And you know what? And I think that's a common thread with women. I'm not generalizing saying that all women are just constantly busy, but I find that as a common theme that they always got so many things going on, whether it's personal, friendships, families, vocations, expectations, all these different
Friends.
things that are happening at the same time. And for women, everything is connected. When I say that, I'm talking about how something happens at home can affect how they are in their relationships because they concerned with mom and dad and maybe extended family and friends, something going on with that. So Renee is always kind of busy in that same aspect, busy physically. Like you said, when you're out and about and you're moving, she's always moving fast. Like she got someplace to be and got things to do because that's what's running on in her mind that I got this to accomplish. I got this to get done. I got this to get done. That list is never ending. And sometimes I have to grab her hand and say, babe, slow down. Everything is important, but not everything is urgent.
Mhm.
So slow down.
ooh, ooh. That was a knock me over my head statement. Cause I probably would not be sick if I stayed home Saturday.
Be still.
Mm.
Because I was not feeling well.
Hmm.
But I had two speaking engagements. And you know me, Renee.
I know.
I'm gonna show up and show out and do what I
Yeah.
do. And
Yeah.
really was not feeling well, but still did it.
Right.
And so I definitely but one of the things that I say about me is that I want a man who is looking for me in the daylight with a
Hmm.
flashlight. I want him to be intentional about looking for me. And
Hmm.
so for me, if I get a glimpse of you not intentional, I
Mm.
I immediately turn off.
Yeah. And I think sometimes, I just think that the unrealistic expectations, I think sometimes we have these expectations in our mind that don't translate into who the person is. Because if I was going to have a list of what I was looking for in a husband, I don't necessarily know I would have picked Gil because sometimes you don't have the right things as your standard. And so maybe the person that's for you might be for you, but maybe it's the time. It could be somebody you already know. It's just a matter of slowing down and being available so that the person that is for you can find you.
We call it being hot, honest, open, and transparent.
Oh,
There's
I love
different
that. I love,
terms.
I'm the acronym queen. I love an acronym.
Yeah, so being hot is just
Hot.
basically being honest about who you are and what you're looking for, even at the beginning of the relationship. Being open means you have to be just as vulnerable to them as you expect them to be to you. It's a two-way street. And sometimes relationships start out where everybody's so guarded because of past hurts and pains that they are measuring their present relationship
By the past
against the
one.
person that's standing in front of them and holding them to that standard that this person is going to do the same thing that the other person did to me. So I got to be guarded. So I can't be open because I don't want to experience that same thing. And transparency is just that, put it all out there, good, bad, and ugly, because I want to see the real you. Just like you said with that flashlight, guess what? I'm not going to run away because I see that there's some growth areas. We don't call them deficiencies because you can always get better at certain things
Right.
once you're made aware of them. There's some growth areas that you have that we as a partnership can team up together. You can help me in mine, and I can help you in
Help you in
yours.
yours.
Yeah.
But I think that my issue has been, and I feel like I'm having therapy audience. I'm just here. This is good for, I'm the single one here, and they have the book
Yes.
for the single.
We here. We love you.
I need it. And so I think that one of the things that I find is that because men see me as bright,
Mhm.
smart, that they will immediately start asking for stuff.
Hmm.
Even if it's not just stuff like tangible stuff, but the first conversation is a therapy session. Oh,
Right.
I don't want to do I don't
Yeah.
want to do therapy.
No. Mm-mm.
I want you to be trying to get to know me.
Yes.
Like,
Not what I know.
hey girl, hey.
Hmm.
Uh, and so I think that because of exactly what I do is sometimes a challenge because people immediately go into talking about what their issues are, what's going on with their kids, and
And have you
what
tried just saying, hey, I'm off work?
I do.
Yeah. I just want to get to know you. I just want you to get to know me.
Right. I don't even want to talk about any of that. And even though I am a therapist by trade, that is not what I'm looking to do with my mate.
No.
Mm-mm.
I'm not looking to analyze you because I've had men even say, well, I know you analyzing me because they make the assumption because that's what I
Right.
do, that
No.
that's what I'm going to
That's not
do.
who you are. That's
And
what you
that's not
do.
what I'm doing. Now
Exactly.
I could. And what I tell them, there's a fee for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Wow.
you want counseling, you got to come to the office and pay the fee. And then I'm not going to date you because I don't date clients.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There's a separation there.
Something that I thought I was talking, one of my friends, we were talking, and she was talking about date. She's single. We have people in our lives that are single. And that's another reason why I have a heart for singleness. And one of the things that the Lord showed me was if you're expecting to meet someone that's going to say something you've never heard at 50, that's not a realistic expectation. There's going to be people that are going to come to us in life. They may not bring everything that we need, but there should be an exchange. I'm coming to the relationship to give and not to take. I'm coming to the relationship to serve and not to be served. And so I think that when we change our mindset about why we're going it, because I believe that marriage is the greatest gift that God gave humanity to show the world the masculine and feminine aspect of God. And that comes from humility and service and gratitude and long suffering. And I think sometimes we have to learn how to put that on and take the other things off so that people can really see us. Because I think that sometimes when you do have a big personality, it can be a lot and they see your personality and not your character.
Oh, that's so good. I think I'm going to use that. Because I always say I'm like a moth drawn to the flame. It's like the thing that draws them is the bigness of me and my
Mhm,
personality, but
mhm.
then when they get close to it, it's like, oh no, that's too
You
much.
boring. Look, you boring. I
Because
really am
you're not
boring.
acting like you are on stage. No, I don't act like I act on stage.
No.
No.
I just want to watch my stories
Yeah.
and have some tea.
Because like for me, I am an extroverted introvert. I am not recharged by being around people. I am recharged. Me and Gil can sit and do nothing together, and I am totally fulfilled.
Mm.
And it's just getting to the place where people can see that and learn that about you and accept it. And even sometimes your friends can't do that. And so I just think the relationships are where you learn the most about yourself. Because even in my friendships, I see stuff about myself. I'm like, oh, that's not good. It's
Oh
not
my
good.
God.
It's not good that I do that. That's not good. And I'll
That
tell
is
them,
so
I'm
true.
sorry. I'm sorry I did that to you. That wasn't right. So, and I think that in that process, I believe that whoever the person is, maybe somebody you already know. But I
You
think
keep
that sometimes we
you this is
dismiss.
the second time you said that.
I do.
I'm spooked by that.
I do. I think it's somebody you already know.
Because you think about that, that person already knows all the things in your life and the bigness that your life requires. And therefore, when you have that, it's not going to be a surprise. And they know how to see Sabrina the person, not the doctor, not all the other titles that go along with. They want to see Sabrina and
Mhm.
see who she is as a woman and as an individual, and get to know that person.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we put people in the friend zone, but I believe that the best relationships
Got to be.
come from being friends. Gil and I were friends. I liked him. He wasn't really thinking about me, but I realized I really liked him, but he didn't like me. He saw me as a friend. I'm like, why do you see friendship as a bad thing?
See, I'm gonna clean it up because these stories always come like you say. Them stories, these are one of them stories.
He ain't like me.
This is kind of one when we were. Now you got to put it in context. We were 14
14
and
and 15.
15 now.
Y'all was babies.
We was
Yeah,
babies.
yeah. I lived on the east side of Detroit. Renee lived on the west side, and we were doing this summer job thing. And she had to go back to her side of town. I had to go back to mine. I'm a sophomore in high school. She's a freshman. I say, well, you may want to date other guys, and I may want to date other girls. So I think we should break up. It was this summertime fling. I didn't say kick it to the curb, but I just say I'm being honest. And boy, I thank God she's a saved Christian woman now, but
I
she
wasn't
wasn't
then.
then, and she cussed me out, man.
She lets you have
She
it.
let me have it. She let me have it. And but still, I say that because over the years we still became friends. We still remain friends. She used to tell me about her boyfriends. I used to tell her about my girlfriends, but we were friends, and that grew over that time period, even to when we reconnected at 18, like 5 years later. That's when we really started dating, and we've been together ever since. So you never know what's going to happen, even if somebody is not the person that you think they are for you for right that moment in the past, that they can be for you in the future. And so that's why we say that friendship has got to be a key ingredient when it comes to that person you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so this is my next question because it's a juicy one.
Oh, okay.
What do you do to keep the home fires burning?
As because we are both, I'm 56 and Gil's 57. We're going to talk about it from both perspectives.
Okay.
Sometimes people, you need to get some help. Sometimes you need to see your doctor and take medicine. Sometimes you need to make sure.
This is a PG show, right? This is a PG show. You got to keep it PG.
No, we can go we can go off. We can go off here.
I think that sometimes, like women, we don't talk about hormone therapy. We don't talk about what happens when your hormones change and you love your husband and you mentally you want to make love, but physically your body's not connecting. Sometimes you may need to go see your doctor and let your doctor give you something. Sometimes as men need to do that. I think that you have to be honest about what your needs are. Gil and I still talk about how many times a week would you like to make love. We talk about everything, you
I
know,
love it.
and so it's
Do
it's
y'all
just
have a
being
minimum?
honest. Pardon
Do
me?
you have a minimum
Yeah,
per week?
yes. We have a minimum and a maximum, and it
Okay.
changes based on how much you travel.
Travel and schedule and all those things, but even going like that's on the physical side, but also you have to make each other a priority. We, especially as you get older in life and you've got the careers and you've done some things, you've accomplished things, all those things have been checked off, but you still have to I still have to make Renee my priority when it comes to just connecting to her as my wife. We can do the laundry list of all the things we got to do, all the people we need to see, the kids, the extended family, the friends, and all those things are important. But this is still the main thing. You got to keep
Got
the
to keep
main
the
thing, which
main
is
thing, the
us.
main thing,
So
baby.
that's going to prevent what I always say is a word that comes to mind with
Lazy.
complacency or being just flat out lazy.
Yeah.
The things that I had to do to get Renee to accept my ring and accept me for the rest of my life, those are things that I still need to do. Now, we don't do the same thing we did when we were 20 plus years old
Yeah.
because
It
you grow,
changes.
you change,
Yeah.
physically, mentally, emotionally, all those things. We just still find new things to do that we both decide. If I have to say one thing, that's probably where we are in a growth area, even in us, is we don't know how to have fun now because we have been so busy with life and growth and careers and in the rich relationship thing that we are investing in other people, and so therefore we have to get back to the fun with each other. What do we like to do for fun? So that's what we've been on this discovery of right now at this stage in our life.
So what do y'all do for fun?
What you were talking about before? No.
Yeah. Well, that's one. But the other one is, believe it or not, especially when you achieve certain levels of life, when you can do things now, you can travel, you can go places, you can buy things and all that. We still like thrifting. We like RVing. We have an RV that we like to travel.
Okay.
We like to drive. I love to drive. Just going out and enjoying each other's company and having conversation. I'm into photography. I'm into videography. This is my best subject matter right here. I love taking pictures of Renee, and she don't mind having her picture taken.
He's
So
my favorite photographer, though.
so those are things that we actually do, and we're still on discovery. We trying to figure things out.
That is good. I think that as you're doing that, just a recommendation is that the steps and the things that you're doing is things that you can help other people begin to do as well,
Yeah.
because I think that that's an area that I talk to couples about, is that at every stage you're changing,
You got to
and so
reevaluate.
you both have to be open to learn the new person that person is becoming,
Yeah.
because life changes and we change. And so
Mhm.
Absolutely.
it's an unrealistic expectation to have people think that they're going to be the same that they were when they
Oh,
first
yeah.
got married.
Yeah.
No. And so those things that you've done or that you're doing or that you're trying to step outside of your box of comfort, I think would be great for married couples, especially because they get into the doldrums, as I say,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
and we do the same thing. I remember a comedian, so inappropriate. This is such an inappropriate joke. I'm just telling you now, it's inappropriate.
Okay. We all
The
right.
Lord won't be pleased. But he said that him and his wife were getting busy, and he was just like, "Whose is it? Okay, what's my name?"
Oh, really?
Just going through the motions.
Wow.
Going through the motions. No, it's still, you want to be excited about. I
Yes.
want to be excited about all areas of life personally.
Yes.
Everything that I do, I want to be excited about it. But I definitely want to be, because I even know women, I have tons of people in my life that says sex is overrated.
Oh, no, they're not doing it right.
I said, well, I, I, I don't even want to talk to you because it's not overrated.
You,
And
you know
I
what
am
Gil taught me?
what?
Gil taught me that making love is some place you go to and not something that you do.
Oh, mm,
And I think because for me, I grew up being very sexually inhibited. No one talked about sex. It was like, no, it was dirty. And so Gil has helped me to appreciate the beauty of not just intimacy, but actually making love. And it's like, and I think that's where the men and women are different. He's teaching me things about my body and about sex, and I'm teaching him about his emotions and about how to connect with me emotionally. And so that's the beauty in the relationship. We're always learning from each other, and I'm always open to him, and I ask questions, and it's like, well, what's your favorite position and what do you like? What do you like now? What you like when you were 20, you may not like that at 56.
Ooh,
So
could you say it
constantly
again? Because I
asking
can't
her,
do what I did at 20.
That,
no.
and you know what?
Oh,
To add
baby.
on to that, that's why I don't know why I'm gonna say this, but I already started, so I got to say, we got a chair.
Yeah,
You
we do.
know,
We have a sex chair. It's much more comfortable for our age than standing up in the shower. Or sometimes when we video in our room, I say, "Oh, I did. We show
no, we
that
don't
chair."
video in our room. We don't do
Yeah.
that.
No, but I'm saying, but it's like you have to make accommodations for your stage in life. So the
I
thing,
agree.
and you have to be open to that. You have to, yes, we read the Bible and we read books,
Can
and
we
you
go
have to
talk
be
to
a
couples in
student
here?
of every fact of communication, sex, intimacy, being vulnerable. All you have to be a student of all of those areas of your marriage.
I think that is so critical. I want to. How much is the book?
It's $25.
It's $25. So I am going to purchase some
Oh, we love
and
you.
give them
Thank
to some
you.
folk. I
Thank
want to be
you.
able to help other folks, not just me. I'm gonna get one for me
We'll
because
send you yours for free.
me's needs it. Me's
And
needs
the
it.
app is really good because the app helps you, because everyone
Assess.
wants to go to an app today. And I'm like, well, Lord, why don't they learn about themselves before they, because people say dating apps don't work. We work with couples, and the majority of them have met on dating apps. And it's working for them, but it's because they already are prepared for marriage before they go and start dating.
It's so
Marriage is not where
interesting.
you figure it out.
I always say apps are not dating apps, really. They're
No.
simply an introduction tool.
It is. Well, our
And so,
app is really designed to help you to assess yourself, your communication style. It helps you to understand your emotional intelligence. It helps you to understand if you're even ready. Because sometimes people think they're ready to date, and they're like you talked about, they still have past trauma, or they're holding this person accountable to the person before. So it really helps you to kind of look at yourself and say, oh, maybe I'm not ready yet.
Mhm.
And so it's really, that was our heart, was that, well, how do you prepare people for what they're not taught to do? And
hmm
so the app is called Marriage Mentors Rich RR, and it's an assessment, and there's a devotional on there for you to read, but there's more so about the assessment of, most people don't even know their communication styles, and sometimes their communication style is the
A
culprit.
hindrance. Yeah.
absolutely. So it's communication style, it's how you handle
Emotional intelligence,
conflict.
yes,
Conflict is a biggie
it
Oh
is.
yeah.
because you're never going to agree 100%,
Oh no,
100% of the
Absolutely.
oh
time.
no,
And so I know that during this election season, I got a lot of questions about how do you deal with people who their politics are completely opposite of yours. And I was
Mhm.
like, well, that's just one area of life.
yeah,
And I don't have to cancel you as a friend or a person because you support someone that I don't.
Right.
yes. That's
Right.
one
And
facet of
those
your
people
life.
have a right to their opinion.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. I think even whether it's about politics or individual stuff, I think it comes down to people focus on symptoms about disagreements or conflict or communication or unrealistic expectations than they do about what's really the root of their discontentment, whether it's about politics or anything else. What is really going on at the root of you is the most important part. And they'll focus on symptoms about all these other things. And those are the distractors. Those are the things that get your attention, and you'll focus on that instead of getting to the root of what's going on with you. Why does a disagreement about different political views cause us to have this knockdown, drag out
yes,
disagreement, and you ready to cancel me out? That's a symptom of something much larger, I think.
it is.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I tell people all the time I can agree to disagree
Absolutely.
Yes.
agreeably.
And to live your life with another human being that is the opposite sex of you for 36 years, we have had to learn how to accept and respect each other's differences. We're never going to be the same. We're never going to
Mhm.
have all the same values and views on everything, but we respect each other enough to say, you know what? I can see how you can see it that way.
Hmm
And that's okay.
And I don't have to make you sleep on the couch.
No.
Nope, absolutely. Because when you decide to get married or even have a long term relationship, you're making a commitment to each other. You're making that commitment to see this thing through, whether it's in the dating stage or even in the marriage stage, that we're going to be together no matter what. So that also builds up the resilience that you have in the relationship to say, you know what, when tough times come, are you going to stick around and be there and we're going to figure it out? Or are you peace out? I'm out. I'm done. You know, that's something that you want to know, even if you're at the dating stage. Be long, because guess what? It's not going to change when you get one of these on your finger.
Yeah.
No, no,
Resilience.
no. I have just a few minutes left in the show. Can you believe the hour's gone?
I know. We love you.
Gone. But I want you, one, to tell people where they can find the book. I want you to tell them where they can find you. And I want you to tell them where they can get the app.
Okay. They can get the book from Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
They can actually get the app. They can go to the Google or the Apple App Store and put in Marriage Mentors Rich RR, and they can find us on all social media platforms at Rich Relationship Refuge, on all the social media platforms and our website, Rich Relationship Refuge.
Well, I want to thank both of you for hanging out with me today.
Oh,
We love
thank you. We
you.
hope
Of
you feel
course,
better.
Chantel is going to send you this so you can post it and chop it up and do what you want to do with it. I
We
think it
will.
was a good discussion. I loved
Absolutely.
being the guinea pig because I got issues. I'm single, ready to mingle. I
Yes.
am. I am. I am. And you keep saying that I already
Somebody
know him.
you know.
So that
Is that confirmation for you?
what?
That friendship thing? Because you mentioned that a couple of times. That confirmation or something like in the ringing in the
It's like,
back of your mind? Like,
oh,
okay, that says it all. The facial said it all.
I love you so much.
I love you. I want you all to have a great, great holiday season. I want you to enjoy birthdays, anniversary, Jesus' birthday, just all of it. And I am voting with Miss Renee that Gil gets the new RV. Just
Yes.
get the
Woo-hoo!
new RV.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you
We
so
so
love
much
much.
you.
for
Thank you
tuning
for
in
having me.
today to Speaking Life with Dr. Sabrina. You know, I say it here every week that life and death lie in the power of your own tongue. And so
Yes.
make sure that this week that you are saying something positive to yourself, about yourself. Never say anything negative because what you focus on is what you draw to you. So focus on the good. God made you. He didn't make no junk. And so you have an incredibly blessed week. See you next week.
How do we win if I'm always winning?
Right,
I know
right.
all I do is win.
No
Win.
matter what,
No matter what.
It's essential.
I win when we
we
win.
win. Go ahead, Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah, right from the beginning, she had a vision. It was a daily elevation for essential living. That's that good intention. All you gotta do is listen. Creating magic during uncertainties be the mission. Dr. Sabrina Jackson, serving God must be a passion. Cause being a better person begins with daily practice. Love is the attitude, that's what we gotta do. Mental Health Mondays on Fox News in Detroit, that's Channel 2. Look us up, baby. Gon' do your research from Cass Tech to Eastern. Yeah, we been in it for a minute. We been winning.